As you can see, it's beautiful, picturesque country. You can see out there in the distance, that's the Drummond Range, and this is some of the best cattle country in Australia.
One of the reasons why I'm involved in this project is the impacts of the Adani mine on landholders, particularly their groundwater supplies.
The Adani mine is just up there that direction. Then you've got Clive Palmer's mine, we've got Kevin's Corner, we've got Alpha Mine. These mines are all interconnected.
The Adani mine is one of 9 mines proposed in the Galilee Basin. The Queensland Government has not developed a cumulative model to assess that. What they've been doing is they've been approving mines independently without knowing what the total impact on the regional groundwater system will be.
We're in an interesting situation now. There's huge drought across eastern Australia. New South Wales is in a very bad way. Parts of Queensland, like here, has been in drought for 8 years now. So it reinforces more and more the importance of water to the existence of all life in Australia and in outback Australia.
It's just simply wrong that we should have governments that are willing to give away our water resources without any forethought for the future.
Adani has the potential to really impact on our underground water. You'll get people who'll say they won't. Adani offer to enter into make good agreements with landowners.
Look, it's important to understand what make good agreements are and what they are not. What they are is a contract between a bore owner and a mining company to compensate for impaired capacity of a bore, which is something that can be agreed between the mining company and the farmer.
We were given a number of these make good agreements, and at the end of the day, they gave us no protection at all.
What farmers will find is miners will be keen when they're applying for a mine to get surrounding landholders to sign up to make good agreements and promise a lot of things. But then when the mine is actually in place and operating, if you find as a farmer that there are problems, enforcing the make good agreement is going to be where you face a huge challenge.
When you look in here, and for argument's sake, they're saying that this agreement's going to be what governs how an issue is resolved, even if it goes outside legislation like the Water Act. Until your bore is actually destroyed and your supply is gone, you've got no protection on your groundwater supply.
The core of any make good agreement is going to be some sort of promise, however it's framed, along the lines of, if we cause damage, we will fix it. And the key word in that sort of proposition is cause. And if you want to enforce that agreement, you have to be able to prove that there is a cause, or that the mine has caused the damage.
There is a formation, an impervious formation between the Great Artesian Basin aquifers and the mining seams or coal seams underneath. If Adani fractures those when it collapses long walls with underground mining, the leakage or loss of water from the Great Artesian Basin aquifers will be a lot more than what's been predicted at this stage.
Prior to running our cattle station, I did work in the mining industry and in the electricity generation industry. Had a bit of experience in dealing with farmers with more than one mining company operating in an area and having the potential to affect the underground water. But the onus will be on the farmer to prove which mining company actually affected their water.
The whole idea of make good is just rubbish. When you're talking about an underground water supply, when you make a mistake, that mistake is permanent. You cannot make good.
Our representatives seem to be focused on corporate support. They seem to be focused on mining. And they seem to be completely concentrating on the mining companies and the resource companies in Australia, and especially in central Queensland, and ignoring the fact that agriculture is actually the primary industry that will always be there. Mining will come up maybe 10 or 20 or 30 years and it'll be gone, and we'll be left with massive big holes and a degraded area. But agriculture will be here for eons, 1,000 years. If it isn't, we won't exist.
This area is already an arid region on the driest inhabited continent on Earth, and we're seeing record-breaking droughts, record-breaking temperatures, increased drying effect due to climate change. And at the same time, we've got this incredible resource, which is really, it's the last gasp, it's our lifeline in terms of water, and that's the Great Artesian Basin. It's one of the largest freshwater underground basins in the world. And I just can't understand why, in the current climate, with so much at stake, you would do anything to jeopardise that resource.
Authorised by B. Morgan Schmidt for Farmers for Climate Action, 673 Bourke Street, Melbourne, Victoria.